Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the snowstorm may be over, but lingering threats remain. Temperatures are dropping, and that means you have to be on the lookout for ice during your morning commute.
A man is suing a state representative, claiming he was injured in a crash when the elected official was driving drunk. We're hearing who he's suing and how many parties it is.
And breaking news out of our nation's capital, a historic vote to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary proved successful. We'll have the latest report out of Washington.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And we will have more on that historic impeachment in just a moment, but we have to begin on the weather tonight. The entire state coated with snow this morning, and a lot of people are still digging out tonight. Thanks for joining us for the news at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The snow itself was done by late this afternoon, but not before dumping up to 15 inches of snow in some areas. Look at that. Beautiful. That's the capital. And look at all that snow. Hartford County was hit the worst with much of the I-95 corridor that saw most of the snow, most of it they've seen in years even.
Yeah, crews were busy trying to keep up with the roads, but now that the sun has gone down, the real worry is melted snow freezing over, causing dangerous driving conditions in some spots. Connecticut's news station has team coverage tonight. Fox 61's Jake Garcia is in West Hartford. He'll tell us more about the road conditions in just a moment, but let's begin with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank.
Rachel, how cold is it going to get tonight?
Temperatures will be tumbling back into the 20s, and today, after the snow moved out, all right, give me a second here.
We're going to check in with Rachel. We're having a little issue with her mic. Let's see if we can get it working.
Really?
Yes, here we go. She's got the important information.
You have to turn them on. It's been
That's you.
It's been a long day, and sometimes it's the little things that get missed. But temperatures tonight will be dropping back into the 20s, and today, during the day, temperatures soared into the mid to upper 30s. So we actually were kind of helped by those temperatures. After the snow ended, there was quite a bit of melting. So any areas of leftover slush could refreeze tonight. And we're going to talk more in detail about how much snow ended up falling, but I want to say right out of the gate, it was more than expected, and there were many surprises, especially in this area here where there was some locally heavy banding that ended up setting up through the day. But the storm is out of here. We've seen clearing skies out there. In fact, many folks even saw a beautiful sunset outside tonight before the sun went down. Temperatures are already in the 20s to right around 30 degrees inland and low to mid 30s for the shoreline, and there are some areas of patchy fog. As we head towards daybreak, it's Valentine's Day. We begin in the 20s. There could be some delays tomorrow morning, especially in areas that got over a foot of snow. Sometimes schools need a little bit of extra time to kind of dig the buses out. So check in with the Fox 61 morning show crew and plan on leaving yourself some extra time. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, highs around 30, but with a breeze, it really feels like the teens and 20s. We have a little bit more snow, nothing like today on the way, but for Thursday night, and that could cause some increasing concern for slippery spots by Friday morning. We'll talk more about it. I'll have my mic on coming up in just a bit, guys.
Thank you, Rach. That sunshine's going to look good tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, with school closures and work delays, much of the state stayed home during today's winter storm.
But many said it was a long afternoon of digging out once the snow stopped falling.
It sure was. Fox 61's Jake Garcia is live in West Hartford tonight with more on how people spent their snow day and how the roads are looking after the freeze.
Well, Brent and Sarah, whether you stayed at home and enjoyed the snow or you got out into it and had a little bit of fun, one thing is for sure that the people did not let the snow keep them cooped up at home for very long. Once the snowflakes stopped falling, people began to venture out all across the state. For most, that began with cleaning off the car and shoveling the driveway.
But it was definitely coming down this morning, so yeah, it's cool to see it come down. It's nice at that time, but then you got to come and do the hard stuff, which it takes a little toll on the back. But it's, a couple of years isn't bad.
Rossio says the key is digging out a little at a time.
Take it in bits and pieces, get to work from home. So a couple meetings, come out, do a little shoveling, then take care of the dog, and just take it a little bit at a time.
But for the kids, the snow day was less work and more fun.
I'm happy there's no school, and I'm out here sledding.
Some families took advantage of the snow day for some sledding at local parks like at Goodwin Park in Hartford.
I'm happy my dad took me here because if I couldn't go here, then I would just be sitting at home doing nothing. And I like the snow because it's like packed down and everything's good.
Other kids fascinated with just how fast the weather changes.
I think it's very cool because like a few days ago it was warm.
Before Connecticut Department of Transportation crews, fun means around-the-clock efforts to keep the roads clear, while first responders and state police dealt with spinouts and crashes.
By and large, people did stay off the road. They did stay home. They delayed travel if they could, which made it safer for our crews who were out there working. So we appreciate the public heeding that advice.
That they will be slick in some spots, as there are some untreated roads and some elevated roads as well. So just make sure you take it slow for that morning commute. Live in West Hartford, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. Well, today's snow didn't just cause problems on the ground. Both of our state's commercial airports saw cancellations and delays. The weather causing travel headaches all across New England. At Bradley International in Windsor Locks, about half a foot of snow left 24 flights canceled and caused another 11 to not arrive on time. Fox 61's Emma Wolfhorst was there and talked to flyers and airport management. She has more on how they were impacted.
A busy Tuesday for crews at Bradley as they cleared the way for winter travel.
We have a lot of specialized equipment. We have very large brooms, blowers, and plows that go out there and they clear the surface down to, the pavement so that there's no snow on it. And they have to continuously do that, obviously, as the snow continues to fall throughout the day.
Plows working round the clock as this storm dumped about a half a foot of snow on Windsor Locks.
We need to remain open and make sure that people can come and go safely. There's a lot of surface area and we need to make sure that it's safe for aircraft, the vehicles, and of course passengers as they arrive and depart from the airport.
Passengers like Gary Granger.
We're very happy to get away from the snow.
While Granger's Tuesday evening flight was still on time, he wasn't without worry.
So being a South Carolinian, yeah, I was real scared. I woke up and seen all this snow out there, but they took a great care of the roads here.
Not used to the cold, Granger's happy to be heading back south.
Anything's better than the snow.
While there aren't any beach days in Connecticut's near future, airport officials say they're ready to handle the rest of this winter weather.
There have been some cancellations and some delays today, but the majority of flights are running on time. Bradley remains open and we continue to treat all of our surfaces, understanding that, we have other aircraft here that may need to depart, and in the event there's a diversion from another airport, we need to be ready to accommodate that aircraft.
That was Fox 61's Emma Wolfhorst. At last check, there are only 5 delays at Bradley, but it was an entirely different story at Tweed. New Haven's airport was shut ahead of the storm, flights grounded. All Avelo flights to or from Tweed were canceled and pushed back to tomorrow. Avelo says travelers were emailed. If you're flying out of New England, either overnight or tomorrow morning, make sure to triple check your email and contact your carrier if you have any questions. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, we're following breaking news on Capitol Hill tonight.
The House has voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas by a razor-thin margin, 214 votes in favor, 213 against.
He's on the chopping block over his alleged mishandling of the ongoing influx of migrants at our southern border. Fox's Kevin Cork has more.
It was a packed House on Tuesday for a historic vote.
The resolution is adopted.
House Republicans voting to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas for his handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. Last week, the House's vote failed, 214 to 216. But House Majority Leader Steve Scalise is back on Capitol Hill, giving GOP lawmakers a boost in numbers.
Feeling great. It's exciting to be back.
The articles against Secretary Mayorkas claim he willfully refused to enforce immigration laws and breached the public trust. He is now the second cabinet member ever to be impeached. Tuesday's vote falling along party lines as expected, with all Democrats voting against the impeachment and only 3 Republicans voting no.
Everybody's going to be held accountable for how they address what is one of the major crises in our country.
This isn't a high crime or misdemeanor, and that's what impeachment is supposed to be.
The Department of Homeland Security denouncing the impeachment, releasing a statement reading in part, quote, House Republicans will be remembered by history for trampling on the Constitution for political gain rather than working to solve the serious challenges at our border. Meanwhile, measures to update border security remain tied up in Congress.
They should focus on that instead of doing another political stunt.
The Senate's trial of Mayorkas is not expected to begin anytime soon, and in point of fact, senators could ultimately move early in the process to dismiss the charges. We'll all have to wait and see if that happens. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kevin, thank you. New at 10, a man is suing Brantford State Representative Robin Comey, claiming he was injured in the crash where Comey was allegedly driving drunk. Last March, security cameras in Hartford capturing the moment her car collided with John Green's SUV and then flipped over on Capitol Avenue. Green is now suing Comey, along with the man whose car she was driving and the owner of the restaurant that allegedly overserved her that night. Green claims he lost 2 teeth in that crash and suffered numerous other lasting injuries. He is seeking $15,000 plus in damages. Police allege Comey had a blood alcohol level of more than 0.14% at the time of the crash. Her office declined to comment about this new lawsuit.
Firefighters in Chaplin spend the morning battling a home fire. Like everything else today, it was made all the more difficult by the winter storm. Crews arrived to the home on Willimantic Road by 5 a.m. It was fully engulfed. Before it could be put out, a majority of the home collapsed. Crews say their response was difficult. It was low visibility, and the snow made their equipment and the road slippery. A person is still unaccounted for tonight. Fire officials are investigating.
We have breaking news just into the newsroom tonight from Wallingford. A very scary scene there after police say a car crashed into the front of an apartment building. It happened on South Elm Street. Police say the driver went to the hospital with minor injuries, but no one else was hurt. You can see a bit of the damage to the front of the apartment unit. Police did not say whether weather played a factor in the crash. We have much more